Hello, back at you again. It's Dwayne Johnson, and we're actually continuing on. Today, this evening, we're going to continue on with the 4 ways that people make money. Again, the 4 ways that people make money. Now, what I've got actually, I've already drawn this. This is your WOO, which is your window of opportunity. Again, your window of opportunity. I got this several years back from my millionaire mentor, motivator Myron Golden. He taught this, and it was a profound message to me because it changed things for me a lot of ways. I started seeing things a whole lot different. But again, I can say your windows of opportunity. Now, say for instance, okay, these are your windows on a 4-way intersection. There was an accident right in the center of the center of the intersection. At that accident, each one of these windows is going to see something different because, of course, their perspective. One, of course, where they're sitting at, but of course, too, the way they grew up, the way they see things. You know, if a cop went around afterwards and went to each actual house and said, okay, what did you see? He's going to get a similar answer, but not the same answer. Because as I said again, their perspective is a little bit different. And that goes back to people in general, because the way they're brought up, what they're taught, their perspective is going to be a little bit different on everything from, having a job to being a millionaire. Now, we're going to start off with, as far as 4 ways. One of the first ways that people actually make money is having a job. Now, job ultimately is journey of the broke. Because no matter how you look at it, as long as you have a job, you'll never be rich. Now, people can tell you whatever they want, but having a job will not make you wealthy. It won't. Odd thing about having a job is, yes, it pays your bills. Yes, it keeps food on your table and a roof over, well, it should keep a roof over your head. Sometimes you need 2 jobs to make it happen. But having a job. The bad thing to me really about having a job is you're actually trading your time for money. So again, you're trading your time for money. And again, if you don't actually punch that time clock, you're not going to get paid. And it's just really that simple. But in essence, what you're doing is you're renting yourself out. You're renting yourself out to whoever, really, I ain't going to say the highest bidder. Because in a lot of cases, you'll just rent yourself out to have a job because you need a job to pay your bills. So you're renting yourself out. Now, the thing that's crazy about that is, I don't care if you're making $7 an hour or if you're making $30 an hour. You're still renting your time out. And for me, my time is much more valuable than any job or any boss could ever pay me, because you're only going to be able to make so much money when you're punching that clock. And of course, you're trading your time for money. Now, on the other side here, you got own a job. Now, you got people that actually own your jobs. You're talking doctors, accountants, lawyers. These are people that have what society looks at as your more prestigious type jobs, but yet and still they have a job. If they don't show up, they're still trading their time for money. That's really what it comes down to. Now, the sad part about owning a job is a lot of times they're going to have much more money than the people that actually own a job. Has more money than people that has a job, but yet and still they have usually a lot less time than people that have jobs. So again, it goes back to that idea of you're actually giving away your time, your life, for money. You're trading your time for money. Owning a job. Over here you may have 1 boss. Over here you may have 100 bosses, because your time is taken. You've got schedules you've got to meet. You're such a perfectionist that you've got to be there in order to get the job done. And you'd be surprised too. You got people that actually have jobs. I got friends that have never been able to take vacations because they couldn't afford to while they were raising their families, because they couldn't afford to take the whole family on a vacation. Again, they had a job, they worked hard, but they were working hard for that money. Same difference on this side. They've owned the job, they've made more money. Again, they had enough money to do things, but they couldn't get the time off to really just to say, hey, I'm going to break away and actually take this vacation, because they had all these people that their time was in demand. Their time was in demand. They needed to be there. So again, have a job, own a job. Now, if you move down here, you're looking at OSS or OOS, own operating systems. Own operating systems. Now, what I say by that is you're talking vending systems where you put your vending machines in different places. You've got franchises where you're actually building franchises to where you're making money. Franchising system. It's computer systems. And of course, to me, the one that's near and most dear to my heart is network marketing systems. The reason I say that, in this place down here, you have your time. You've got your time back, because you can do what it is you want to do. You actually work for a while, and the work that you've done starts to work for you. You know, you work for a while, you're building teams, you're building systems, and your money starts to come in because of something you've done one time. J. Paul Getty once said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. And that really makes a whole lot of sense, because what happens is the money that you're making when you wake up in the morning, because your team is working. You know, you've built leverage down here. Up here you have no leverage. Down here you can afford to take time off to go watch your kids' plays at school during the afternoon. You can afford to go have lunch with your kids. You can afford to take your wife out to lunch, in the middle of the afternoon, because of course your time isn't taken. Over here at our last side, which is So Money Seeds. So Money Seeds, SMS. Now, the great thing about So Money Seeds is because, of course, the money that you've made here with your system, you've actually learned how to invest it in other things to where your money is growing. Your money's making money for your money. And that's the great thing, too, because here, if you're not going in punching that time clock, you're not making money. Here, if you're not there on the job to get the job done, you're not making money. Here, your money's making money for you. And that's the thing that makes most sense to me. The reason why I got involved with network marketing and I employee interview to actually search out and find a network marketing company that works for you, because it's low cost to get started with it and it can change your life. But what it does is it changes your perspective. It changes the way that you see things. It'll change the way that your kids see things. Because right now, a lot of times, people have grown up and their kids have watched you struggle through your life and they know nothing but being poor. This will change the way that they see things, and they'll be able to teach it in a different way to their kids, because this isn't taught in school. You're not taught to change the way that you see things. This will show your kids a different way of life, and it'll change your lineage on down. So again, this is Dwayne Johnson. I want to say, learn to live life instead of letting life live you, because you've actually got one life, only one life to live. Thanks.